The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 2024 spring edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my good friend and co-host, Steve Roberts.
I'm
back from vacation. We like to say extradited. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses. We talk with the business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We learn how they got into business and why they're doing business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. You're going to hear all about their successes and challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. And you can see us on YouTube as well, so get on over to the YouTube page. How are you there, Steve? You're back.
I'm back, Tom.
From the vacation. Where did you go?
We went to Florida.
What part of Florida were you in?
On the West Palm side. I don't want to go back.
No? Why not? Was it expensive?
It was very hoity-toity.
Yeah.
It was expensive. We ended up with a ticket over there, and it was a ticket. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. No, I liked the other side. It was lovely. Breakfast was like, it was like a car payment. Things were very expensive.
Yeah.
And it was nice, but they're not my people there on that side. It was very, we tried to get dinner reservations once.
Yes.
Judy asked at this place. It was near the hotel, and they were like, the earliest we have for you is 8:45. They were like,
wow.
They were like, we don't want your type of people here.
Yeah. Really? You think that?
I do. And she said it.
They get all types down there.
Yeah. Well, I'm all types. So it was lovely. It was warm. We're not going back that side.
All right. Well, that's good. Good to have you back. And the segments are tight this week, so we got to make sure that we do a lot of talking in a short amount of time.
I'll paraphrase, so shut up, Steve. Okay, go ahead, John. Go ahead, Tom. That's what
just
meant.
Yeah. John Kupferman's going to come up first. He's the owner of Smith Restaurant Supply. Stick around for Abel Ramirez Gonzalez, who's the owner of Bayberry Uniform. And then Randy Wolkin stops by, president and CEO of MACNY. That's the Manufacturers Alliance of New York. Michelle Hawthorne stops by. She's the licensed Medicare broker for the Thorne Insurance Agency. And then Lucretia Hadinsky, our girl from the Greater Liverpool Chamber of Commerce, will stop by. Donna Shane is the owner of Syracuse Dog Fence with her husband, Stan, and she'll stop by for a conversation. Mike McCumbee is the owner of CEO of Dog Karts, Mad Dog Karts. That'll be interesting.
Dog Karts.
This is somebody you got to know, right?
Yes, it is. Okay, maybe.
Dave Schneckenberger is the president of Thompson and Johnson Equipment, and we'll have a nice conversation with him as we round out the show. Right now, we say hello to John Kupferman. How are you there? What's cooking?
Very fine. Everything's good.
Good. What's cooking in the kitchen? Anything new? Holidays are over for now, right?
Now we're transitioning towards
Mother's Day,
spring, summer, Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Yeah. Do you get a surge of any type of products at this point? Or?
Well, there's a certain amount of gift giving.
Oh, okay.
And special meals. Cook for mom, cook for dad. Mm-hmm. That type of thing.
That's nice.
But now with the better weather, which is kind of business is normal.
Right. So did we determine last time you were here that cast iron or stainless steel was better for cooking my steak?
Cast iron.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
And I think you
get better searing with a cast iron pan.
Gotcha.
So I think you said, get it hot. You explained it last time.
Yeah, get it hot.
For nonstick, to properly saute, you get your pan hot before you do anything with it.
Yeah.
Put it on the burner for a couple minutes at like medium, low, medium. Get it good and hot. Then you put in what I call a release agent, be it butter, oil, wine.
Yeah.
Then you put your food in. And what happens is your food then rides on top of that release agent, and so it doesn't stick to the pan.
Nice.
People will often just put the pan on the stove, put the food in it, then turn the burner on.
Right.
And you're just going to,
the other thing too, Steve, is that you need to keep the meat out for a little while. Don't take it right from the refrigerator. Let it get to room temperature.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the cold meat hitting the hot pan makes it stick some too.
Yeah, a stick in.
I like rubs. I like put seasoning rubs on.
Oh, the rubs.
The rubs. I like that. Sure.
And I've heard you rub people the wrong way.
Well,
sometimes.
it's a gift. I did when I was in Florida. I had some good coffee at one of these hoity-toity places I don't want to ever go back to.
Right.
But the coffee was really good. They said actually, it wasn't the hoity-toity place. It was towards the end of the trip. The last 2 days, we found this diner up the road that was fabulous. And I took a sip of the coffee and didn't contaminate it with the things like you might, John.
Cream sugar.
And
that type of thing.
I go, this is really good coffee. And they went into it's roasted local. They went into the whole, and it reminded me of you.
Sure.
This wasn't some boilerplate coffee.
No.
And they said they named the place, and you can get it up here, and this is where they roast it, and we get it fresh. It sounded like you.
Yep. I mean, it's all about the freshness. Partly about freshness. Right. As we've said before, coffee gets stale after about 2 to 3 weeks. So if you can get good quality, locally roasted coffee,
right?
Hopefully at Smith Restaurant Spot.
Where else would you go?
Right, where else? That's a key to the success.
Do they grow any coffee down around Florida, or
further south?
Further south.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're coffee beans, Tom. They don't grow coffee.
No, they don't.
I didn't know if they could
the
get
better coffees are grown on the sides of mountains.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah.
Like wine?
soil.
I mean, like grapes? Is it the same kind of theory?
Similar.
Okay.
Similar. The condition of the soil and there's partial shade.
Yes.
The very best coffees are actually grown under the canopy of other trees. It's not.
I didn't know
sun.
that. I thought it was a full sun thing.
No, it's
I did too.
the Arabica beans, which are the finer beans, are typically grown in mountainous areas. A Robusta bean, which is like your Folgers, Maxwell House, and those types of things.
Yes,
those are grown in valleys, and the plants are enormous. They almost look like a hop plant.
Okay,
and they're on trellises that are probably 20, 30 feet tall, and they have commercial harvesters that go through and collect the beans. The finer beans are actually hand-picked.
But by Juan Valdez.
Yeah. I mean, not to be facetious, but yes, people with an antler, and they're carrying sacks of beans, and you should really appreciate your cup of coffee because it takes probably 100 to 200 beans to brew a pot of coffee. And somebody's hand-picked all that.
As far as the Hyman Smith is concerned, where are you getting that from then?
All over the world.
Okay. And you source that yourself? You kind of like hand-pick it?
No, I go through a wholesaler, because they handle the customs and duties and all that.
Right.
And, I buy a bag from different parts of the world. They bring it in a container. But I make the selection.
Yeah, you're making the selection.
I make the selection, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And people still coming out to get their knives sharpened?
Absolutely, all the time. And because of the show, they're now wrapping them up.
We were all about safety here.
Sure.
So just, I know nobody still gets confused, but in case they missed it, across from Texas Roadhouse.
In DeWitt,
not downtown where all the signage is that looks like your building.
Correct.
Was. So
we are not there.
3 miles that way, that would be east, right, Tom?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be east.
That would be east.
So, all right. Well, John Kupperman right there, and oftentimes you're in the store so people can talk with you.
Yes.
And you have a pretty well-appointed website, SmithRestaurantSupply.com, SmithRestaurantSupply.com, and that has a lot of the products on there.
It has everything in it.
Great. Excellent. You have a great rest of the day, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Abel Ramirez Gonzalez is the owner of Bayberry Uniform, and he's up next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back again, lickety-split, and in the middle of spring here. Do you know something? That lawnmower you gave me, that Albatross, and I appreciate it.
It was only like 3 years old when I gave it.
Oh, golly. I have to have some work done on it. And, there's all these people that claim that they come to your house and fix things, and it's really difficult to get somebody to do it properly.
Didn't we have somebody on a few years ago?
We did. I called him like about 3 or 4 times. He never returned my call.
Is it because he's so busy, or maybe retired or something?
Maybe he just doesn't like me.
Well,
not a lot of
he
people
wouldn't be
do.
alone.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. But
what's it doing? What's wrong with it?
No, nothing. Just regular maintenance. But you gotta maintain those things. I know, and you gotta. And one thing I didn't do was to take out the battery this year. So I put it in the shed. Forgot about the battery, and I have a trickle charger. And you can't do that because then the batteries die. And anyway, so now I'm in a situation where the lawn is way too long. It kind of snuck up on me. I was having the coffee, looking at the dogs, and I said, "Wow, I can't see Mikey. He's like buried by grass." So I better get out there and mow that dang thing.
Just for listeners, and maybe this is your first time, Mikey is not a child of his. It's his dog.
Yes.
So,
although I would do that with my child too, but yeah. So that's
go get a battery.
So it's lawn mowing season. It's everything. I got my sty going because the allergies and everything. Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Yes. Abel Ramirez Gonzalez is the owner of Bayberry Uniform. How are you there?
I'm doing great, Tom.
Good.
How are you?
Did I say your name properly?
Abel Ramirez Gonzalez.
There we go. That's a little better. More flair.
R's. He's boasting in his rolling of R's. I can't. I'm like Ramirez. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Our photographer, videographer, production guy, there, Brad. He taught in Madrid, Spain. He taught.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he lived there for like 7 years or something.
That's amazing.
And he told me that it's Abel.
Abel.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the.
I like the Abel better because it's more empowering. Yeah. Just Abel.
So, what are you able to do over there at Bayberry Uniform?
What am I not able to do, Tom?
All right.
We do just about anything. All things uniforms. We serve mostly medical uniforms.
Oh, really?
Like the upstays and the crowds and the medical students. That's our specialty.
No kidding.
Yes, sir. But we also serve the restaurant industry, chef wear. Corporate wear. Like your team wants to get Zoey advertising polos for the golf tournament.
Right.
We do that kind of thing.
You really think I'm going to put Tom in my foursome?
I don't know if you want to do that.
I like to win.
Right.
I don't.
Shots fired.
But I've noticed over the years that some of the outfits that doctors are wearing and nurses and PAs and all those medical professionals are getting a little more stylish. They're kind of sexy. It's more of a fashion statement than it used to be.
Yes, some of them actually. We just received the newest line for Barco uniforms. They are the company that owns the Grey's Anatomy line. Very popular.
Okay. Yes.
Uniforms.
Right.
And I tell you, they look just like gym clothes to me. Very athletic looking. They're actually doing a commercial with Peloton.
Wow,
So
really?
it's it went from a very traditional look of a doctor, of a nurse, to now very athletic, very comfortable.
Sure. If you watch old episodes of General Hospital, they look like regular hospital workers, like very
100%
ugly looking, outfits. But now, they're looking pretty stylish.
Actually, if you go to Krause, a lot of our sales there are actually tie-dyes. A lot of the nurses and people at the hospital, they want to be comfortable, and they allow it. So why not?
It's disarming. It's disarming to the patients too. You see somebody who's coming in that looks comfortable and they look modern and hip, and you're thinking, this is they don't seem so stodgy.
I don't know. I think that goes both ways. Do I want that modern hip going, hey, we're going to cut up your tibia? And I don't know. I think maybe I want the thing with the guy with the shiny thing on his head that looks like a doctor.
There is something to be said about uniforms. It's like you see the cop, in full uniform.
Right.
It has a sense of authority. Versus if you saw him dressed civil.
Yeah.
But, to your point too,
right.
In certain scenarios, I feel like it's more personable because somebody coming to you dressed and it's more.
I'd like to grab one of those outfits, one of those doctor outfits, just to wear to the gym and stuff. So, so people think I'm above my station in life.
Dr. Thomas.
That's right.
So do you have sizes to fit Tom?
Yes,
absolutely, 100%.
So muscular to make muscle builder guys.
Show off,
show off the shoulders and everything.
Do people wear scrubs that are not in the medical field as like a casual wear, or is that confuse the space? Are people like, is it at all like hip?
Yeah.
It's starting to go outside of the medical. You might see cosmetologies, nail salons, spas. What else have I seen? Gym instructors. I've seen gym instructors wear the scrubs.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not just medical anymore.
So tell us a little bit. You must have some competition from the online places, for branding and embroidering and all that stuff. Do you do that as well?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
There is competition. I mean, if you're not online, you're losing these days, right?
Right. So you sell online as well.
We sell online as well. The thing that sets us apart from the online is the fact that you can go to a store and now you can get to try it on. You can get to feel the product before you buy it.
I like that.
Yeah, sure.
And our turnaround has improved a lot. We went from 2 weeks turnaround and embroidery to now 3 to 5 business days.
Oh, goodness.
We've invested into our embroidery equipment, and now our turnaround, depending on what it is, sometimes they might walk out with their jacket embroidered. Like I have my buddy, Corey Lawson from Howard Hanna down the street. Okay. He came in, he was wearing a jacket, and he says, "Hey, well, can you put a Howard Hanna logo here for me really quick?" And he walked out 30 minutes after with the logo on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You can't find that online.
Yeah.
Because you can bring your own stuff too and get it embroidered. There is no minimum quantity. So we make it really simple for our customers.
I don't know. I always want to try stuff on. I mean, of course, I'm a giant, so nothing fits.
Well, you know what I also
try it on.
What I also like is that you can see the logo, see what it looks like, and I would imagine you would correct any problems if somebody said, "Yeah, that's not quite looking like I like it."
100%. We actually, depending on what it is, again, we like to do a sample first, and we show it to you on a piece of clothing.
Oh, very nice. Yeah,
and then you approve the colors because certain companies have color requirements.
Yes,
and it has to be the right shade. So we can give you the sample, and then you approve the sample, and then we can
the brand standards. You're not going to get that online. You're not going to get that. You send it away. Imagine ordering a whole bunch of stuff, and it comes back, and it was supposed to be, red 545 PMS color, and it's off and now they're all wrong. That would be a disaster.
It's deceiving because you see a picture online, and when you actually get to see it in person, it's like, this is not what it looked like online.
Exactly.
Correct.
That's why you don't date online.
That's a good one too.
So do physicians and people do they have to wear Crocs? Is that like a law on their feet?
No, it's not a law.
Do you have foot apparel as well?
Yes, we have a large selection of foot apparel, and it went from the traditional clog now to the sports kind of looking shoes. But they're still very ergonomic, very comfortable because you have to be on your feet all day. So they have to be specialty shoes.
That's great. So people can come right over there, touch it, feel it, see all the garments, the apparel. Obviously, you have a world of knowledge in that area, and your people do. So come on, you got just the one location?
We have 2 locations. Okay. We have the one in Liverpool in the Bayberry Plaza, and then we have one by Varsity Pizza near the Cross Hospital, so it's very convenient.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
On their breaks, they're walking to get lunch, and they stop by and to their store, so it's very convenient for them.
That's dangerous to get me up by Varsity Pizza.
He had me at Varsity Pizza.
I just got hungry when he said that.
Right? Me at Varsity Pizza.
Well, let's go. Abel Ramirez Gonzalez.
That's much better. Good job.
Better. I'm
want me to try?
Owner of Bayberry Uniform. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
All right. Randy Wolkin's up next, President and CEO of MACNY, the Manufacturers Alliance of New York, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and so happy that you are too. We appreciate you spending this time with us on the weekends. We're The Local Show, Tom and Steve from Zoey Advertising. Steve, did you happen to listen to any of the segments that we recorded without you?
I did.
Yeah. Did you? Did you listen to the one with John Murphy from Safe Harbor Wills and Trust?
The one with John Murphy was Safe Harbor Wills. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Did you get to the end of the interview where he said, this was one of the best interviews and so professional and so nice? And what he was indicating is that you weren't here.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll take that, and I'll give you all the room you want, Tom. You can do the show by yourself. Holland Betts, he's he's
too successful to want to do this on a regular basis.
Drag him in, but no, I was speaking with John earlier this week, and
what do you say?
Talking about we were talking about golf actually. I don't know we were negotiating about that. How to golf, but actually, earlier this week at breakfast with some friends, and they were all 3 of them were talking about making their plans with Safe Harbor Wills and Trust.
Yeah, good,
and protecting their home and life savings. in doing the right thing. And someone else, actually, there's been a lot of safe harbor talk this week, said, I went out there and they didn't try to sell me something I didn't need. They said, do it this way. You don't have to do this. And it was just speaks to the character of the firm.
Right,
They're not just trying to sell you a bunch of stuff. So if you haven't made your plan, make your plan, update your will, protect your home and life savings. 370-9977. Of course, safeharborwillsandtrust.com. You can connect there. 370-9977. Start a conversation with them.
There we go. Randy Wilkins with us right now. He's the president and CEO of MACNY, the Manufacturers Alliance of New York. How are you, Randy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. Lots of talk about Micron and this.
It's not going to happen, Tom. It's not going to happen.
Randy, first tell us, as president of and CEO of MACNY, what is MACNY so people can get caught up?
Sure. So MACNY is a regional association in 26 counties, so really central upstate. And then also the Manufacturers Alliance is statewide. We have groups throughout the state from Buffalo to Long Island and really help manufacturing, help them on advocacy, help them on, getting things done specifically to their businesses. We do events. We run around 111 years, so a long time really helping companies be successful. Been through the good times and been through the difficult times, and good times are ahead, which we're excited about.
So the competitors are kind of in the same room with each other? Isn't that can that be awkward or no?
No, actually it's great because they're not generally direct competitors. They're in a global market. They do allow people into their facilities to see them. So they actually are more often than not collaborators and connectors, and they're people who want to connect with, successful practices.
Very interesting. What did you do before you became president over there?
So I've been doing this a long time, so it's kind of hard to remember. But
he was in junior high school.
Yeah. But I was the executive director of the Samaritan Center.
Oh, no kidding.
Which is a fantastic organization, in town.
We know it. We've been down there. They're amazing.
Yeah. So I did that for 3.5 years before being recruited to go to MACNY.
Was it in the same place then, or was it?
No, actually, it was at St. Paul's then.
Okay.
At a current location.
Cathedral, the St. Paul's Cathedral.
Yes, that's where it was before when I was there. So it's come a long way. They're doing great things, and it was a really good experience for me.
So do you have a degree in manufacturing or?
No, actually I don't. I have a master's in public administration from SU.
Oh, really?
So after going to West Point, getting my undergraduate there, being in the Army.
Look
at
you.
And then heading to get my master's degree. But, then went to local government for about 6.5 years out of Onondaga County, which was a great experience.
Right.
So I've had a wide variety of experiences and, in that part of my career where I get to see some wonderful things happening.
Yeah. So you just deal with the Syracuse as far as the geographic area for
really
manufacturing?
much bigger than that. We're really central upstate. Really, we'll cover. We have members all the way up to the Canadian border, down to the Pennsylvania border. Really direct members even as far as Seneca Falls, Herkimer County. So we really sort of central upstate is the focus of our members. Very large companies like Crucible and Corning, and they're really small machine shops like a Morse Manufacturing.
Oh yeah, our friends up at Clinton's Ditch.
Yeah, they're members.
They're members. They know that.
Great work too, and it really is a robust, as we know, business community. We're pretty excited to be a part of it.
So what constitutes a manufacturer? What would make a business a manufacturer of something?
Well, they're producing a product. They may also do service on it, but today they're typically a modern manufacturer. I mean, the reality is they're using advanced technologies, more and more AI. The reality is these are technicians that are working in manufacturing facilities today, and we just don't have enough of them. We're about a 10% open rate across our members.
Open rate for manufacturer or employees?
Employees.
Okay, so 10% of what? How big is the number? 10% of 300,000 or 10% of 5?
Well, there are literally thousands of job openings throughout our entire coverage area. So there's so many opportunities today and to directly be on the shop floor, to be in the office space. But we obviously focus on those who are on the shop floor and those people who have great careers into the future.
And now, are there learn as you go opportunities, or does someone have to become with a degree in something or 10 years experience in something?
Well, it's all the above, but there are direct entry. We actually run direct entry programs specific to learn and earn approaches where you literally can do a pre-apprenticeship, going to a registered apprenticeship. We actually work on career pathways approaches with high schools throughout the communities that we serve. And then, of course, there are those who go through degree programs, a lot of engineering openings. So really a broad spectrum of degrees and really non-degrees. And more people are going right to work, learn and earn, which really cuts down on any student debt you might have. And it gives people from a wide range of lives to go because they may not have the time to take off for school. So go to work.
So somebody had kids or grandkids or somebody, didn't you have a spot on your website that opens that up? You were talking about that before.
Yeah,
explain that to us.
We do. We have a career and talent platform which shows literally hundreds of positions open throughout the manufacturing community. You can go to MACNY.org and click on the career and talent platform, enter yourself, or maybe send the link to a loved one who's looking for opportunities. So that's actually becoming quite popular. And then, of course, what's coming in Micron is coming. It's going to be a whole lot of job openings related to both them and the supply chain. Even more expansive opportunities are going to be open.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but are there any ancillary companies coming that we should know about? That you know about that haven't been really talked about?
Well, right now we're still waiting, related specifically to Micron.
Yeah,
the reality is once they make their announcement, which is coming shortly, in terms of the CHIPS Act and so forth, and then in reality there will be a supply network that will also want to locate here. That'll come a little later in terms of announcements, but we have existing companies that are already
ramping up.
Okay,
gotcha.
You've got Lotte, which is the old Bristol-Myers Squibb facility, which will be hiring hundreds of people. We got TTM, which is in the defense industry. They're hiring hundreds of people. I mean, the number of people who want to reinvest here, sort of seeing what Micron's doing, that is coming here, they want to be here, and that's pretty exciting. I
mean, you're using numbers like hundreds of jobs. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, and ultimately thousands with Micron.
It will be thousands of jobs, and thousands of people moving here too, which opens up new opportunities for the retail, new opportunities for services. So you're going to see an expansion we haven't seen here. None of us have seen here because it's really unique. And they'll begin and it'll start and they'll open their first facility, first fab by 2027 is the current timeline.
That is awesome for you, Steve, because these people don't know you yet.
A unique opportunity.
You could get a surge of business.
So excited. Tom, and you could get a fifth career and train as a whatever.
That's right. You can do something else. All right. Michelle Hawthorne's going to be coming up next. Randy, thank you for being here. We certainly believe that. Michelle Hawthorne is a licensed Medicare broker for the Thorne Insurance Agency. She'll be on the local show next, so stick around for that on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back to The Local Show with Tom and Steve from Zoey Advertising, and Steve is back, so I know a lot of you, the fan club, that is, will
my mom
get all crazy.
My mom is a fan. I miss the days, Tom, when we were doing the show early on. Tom has been a radio broadcast professional, and then there's Steve, who just kind of came along for the ride. I would be drinking my coffee, and I'd be like, and Tom was like, "You're just doing that to annoy me," and I really wasn't. I really wasn't, which made it even more fun.
Right. Drinking coffee and breathing in as much.
Making as much noise as he possibly
exactly.
could, right?
Yeah. Not realizing it, just oblivious.
No, and then totally, that's the right word. But now, I do it deliberately, which is way more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, way, way more fun. So I'm cruising down 690 in 41 the other day, and there's got to be 700 different company billboards for roofing companies.
Okay.
I could not believe, I was like counting. I was up to like 6 or 7 different roofing companies. So I just want to give a shout out to our friend Sean over at Top Notch Roofing.
Okay.
We're doing some things for them. And he is very deliberate about the way he does things. He's like, you know what? You'll find people that'll do it for nothing. You'll find people that'll charge way more. Let's have a conversation. I like the deliberateness of that. So if you're thinking of getting your roof looked at, maybe get an estimate, give Top Notch Roofing a shout out. Sean Dupre, phone number 247-0628, and get a quote. You're probably going to get a few quotes from different people, but it's Top Notch 247-0628, and get a quote on your roof.
Excellent. All right, Michelle Hawthorne's with us. She's a licensed Medicare broker for the Thorne Insurance Agency. How are you, Michelle?
Good morning. I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Well, thank you for being here. Yeah. Tell us what you do. What exactly is the Thorne Agency all about?
Well, I like to say I'm the most exciting person in the room when I'm introducing myself.
Oh,
because
very
I can
good.
probably put a lot of people to sleep if I go on a tangent. I am a licensed Medicare insurance agent for Medicare insurance plans for people who go on Medicare and need to purchase additional insurance. It's as simple as that.
I see.
What additional insurance? I mean, like,
Why do you need additional?
yeah, what is that about?
You need additional insurance because when you go on Medicare, if you have both parts A and B, they're still outlaying costs. So you have to make decisions about how you want to handle those outlaying costs because Medicare itself doesn't cover everything. It doesn't cover prescription drugs. It doesn't cover dental, vision, hearing. It doesn't cover other things. So people have to make a decision which way they want to go and what's important to them in terms of their health insurance.
And as we get older, all those things you mentioned break.
Yeah, well, they could. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I am telling you the stories, and I'm starting to feel it myself. So, yes, I understand.
And of course, there's no shortage of commercials on television and radio saying, buy this, do that, do this. How do you make it work for people and make it cost effective for them?
So I think the important thing is to understand your rights as a Medicare beneficiary, meaning understanding what choices you have and what those choices mean. What I'm finding out in the industry is many agents do not discuss all of your options. They're going one way only. And if you can guess, there's a reason why they like to only go one way.
Right, because more profitable for them, I imagine.
More profit for them.
Follow the money.
Follow the money, but what they're not doing is clearly describing your rights as a Medicare beneficiary. And that's something I'm pretty emphatic about. I'm passionate about that because people should understand.
So talk about rights. I mean, you speak as though their rights are being violated or something. So
well, there's a misunderstanding out there. So if you're coming to me because you're going to need that additional insurance, you're not getting through retiree coverage or some other way, then the discussion is you can either go on a Medicare Advantage plan or go on what is called a Medigap or AKA Medicare Supplement plan and purchase additional prescription drug coverage. And there are two different ways to go. You can't have both of those options. Number one, you can't have them at the same time. And they're both different options. They're different ways.
Who knows all this stuff? I'm already glassing over.
I know it. And I teach workshops. I do workshops on it.
Right. So everyone that's 65 goes on Medicare.
Yes. Well, not everyone. I'm sorry. Yes. Most people
that clears it up.
Okay, I know. I just did a great job answering that question. I'm so sorry. Typically, most people go on Medicare. There are some circumstances where you may not have to pick up Medicare.
Okay, because if you're retired or not retired, you're 65. It's time to join the Medicare, which theoretically you've kind of paid for your whole life out of your tax deductions, right?
Yes.
So this isn't
That's why it happens automatically, right? Because you've been paying into it.
You've been paying into it. Some people will have to sign up for Medicare. Others get put into it automatically, which leads to a whole other conversation.
Oh.
So we won't answer that today.
So when does someone sign up for that?
So typically, if you're in a typical situation where you have to sign up for Medicare, you're going to sign up 3 months before your birthday or the month of your birthday. I suggest you start on as soon as you can because that gives you time to plan. I've had people plan or change their Medicare plans based on a conversation we've had because sometimes it can change your retirement date.
Can people get with you in advance? So like I'm 60. So would you put me in your tickler file and I say, hey, look, I don't know what's going to happen when I'm 65. So give me a call.
I want people calling me when they're 64.
Okay.
I truly do. You have to reach out to me unless I have a permission slip. Seriously, I have to have a permission slip.
Terms and conditions apply.
Exactly, yes. So please understand, folks, when I ask you to sign something, it's only so I have permission from the government. But yes, I tell people if you can get with me when you're just turning 64. It's a planning thing because, like I said, people have changed their retirement date after speaking with me because sometimes you have to take into consideration your spouse or do you have other family members you're covering still.
So if someone is already part of the plan, should they still talk to you? Are there things that you could educate them with?
If they were only discussed certain things, then yes, because if they don't know their rights, that's the biggest thing I'm finding is a lot of beneficiaries don't understand all of their options and all of their rights.
Yeah.
And I've been teaching workshops and I'm getting a lot of hands raised of people saying, I've been to other workshops and they haven't discussed all the options.
So if someone's 66, they're already on, they may want to look at it again. Do they have the right Part A, Part B, all those things that glass me over? Yeah. But they can talk to you. Is the 415-7074 number a good number?
It is a great number.
So they can call and just have a conversation?
Yes.
Okay. And I know we can tell you're very pushy, not at all. So you'll answer questions. And it's 415-7074. Michelle, who's going to help folks out with Medicare, if they're going on it, been on it, need to go on it, need to change it, all the questions.
Any questions, yes.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Michelle, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Kicking off hour number 2 of the local show, we're going to have a conversation with Lucretia Hadinsky. She is the executive director of the Greater Liverpool Chamber of Commerce. Donna Shane is the owner of Syracuse Dog Fence. Mike McCumbee is the owner of and CEO of Mad Dog Karts. And then Dave Schneckenberger wraps us up. He's the president of Thompson and Johnson Equipment. So you stick around for hour number 2 of the local show, which starts really soon.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back into it. This is hour number 2 of the local show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Lucretia Hudzinski. She is the executive director of the Greater Liverpool Chamber of Commerce. Donna Shane stops by. She's the owner of Syracuse Dog Fence with her husband Stan. Mike McCumbee is the owner of and CEO. Why do I keep saying of? Because usually I say owner of, but I put owner and CEO.
That's why you keep saying it.
Of Mad Dog Karts, and then Dave Schneckenberger, along with, he's the president of Thompson and Johnson Equipment. He'll be here as well. So all of them here in hour number 2, Steve. You know what I did?
What did you do?
Well, I test drove a slingshot. You know why? Yeah.
Because you've got a midlife crisis?
Yeah. Well, I know I can't do the muscle car because Kelly said you can't do it. Isn't that funny how I knew that?
Just put it on the list of things that Tom can't have next to the pool.
Next to the pool.
Put it next to the swimming pool, right in that.
And I'm kind of always, and I was looking for an option. Well, anyway, so I met the boys at Preferred Power Sports.
Yeah.
So you know them, right?
I know them well.
Yeah. So I went up to talk with them and I'm like, I cannot believe that the place is so huge. To me, there's no other place to go in the area other than Preferred Power
I didn't
Sports.
realize it either till we started speaking with them.
Yeah.
They had like over 500 units of things you can walk out of there with.
And they're just trucking them in still. I mean, it's it's huge. So, the person showing me, and I'll be quick about it, but the person showing me around the place, I was looking at a 3-wheeler, a trike and stuff like that. And, he wasn't pushy or anything like that. Yeah. And I commented on that. And I said, boy, you're really helpful. And he said, hey, look, I don't care what your budget is. I just want you to be in the right machine, for you. And he said, we don't work on commission.
How about that?
I thought, oh, my goodness, they should be shouting that to the world. Yeah, they don't work on commission, and they have like 5 or 6 major brands. Anyway, the slingshot.
I saw it. And tell me about the slingshot.
The green one. Yeah, so we get in the slingshot. Me and Nicholas, of course.
I was going to say, who is we?
So Nicholas had the thing bought and paid for when we pulled out of the parking lot. But I had the ball in it, and that would be my little go-to. I would love that. because I love to tinker.
I know.
Well, and you can mod these things like you're building a little model.
Well,
you can put a little
would.
part here, and I would, and then put a part here, put a part there. Anyway, loved it. But I can't say enough about Preferred Power Sports in general. Of
they got the
way they do
four-wheelers.
business.
They got those Suzuki boat. Did you see the boats?
Yes, I saw the boats
the pontoon boats are like
beautiful. Then that's a neat little thing. And the wave runners, they got those all
the wave
stacked
runners.
on top
Oh my
of
gosh.
each other, ready to go.
That's what would get me.
Right.
I would go to Wave Runner.
So anyway, they're one, and they're so easy to get to, right up on Route 11, going toward Brewerton, and but they're in Cicero. And then if you just take the highway and you get off at the Brewerton exit,
just down
curve
a bit.
around it, they're just down a bit. It's really easy. So anyway, I just thought that was the coolest thing.
That is cool.
And I left my wallet in the center console.
Of course you did.
So I couldn't find my wallet, so I got to go up and see Greg after the show.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Lucretia's with us. She's the executive director of the Greater Liverpool Chamber of Commerce and has been for 102 years now, I believe.
Yes. I started when I was 1.
That's it. How are you? You look great.
I'm great. It's the greatest. And it's the greatest Liverpool chamber.
Yeah, it really is. Yes. I mean, you it's like, it reminds me of old home, going up and seeing you and all the businesses over in that area. But you cover such a wide swath of area, right?
Yeah. So we have, we concentrate in the town of Clay, which is the largest town
big.
in the county.
Yeah.
And then the town of Salina and the village of Liverpool. And lately we've been doing some work in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And of course we have you guys, which is outside of Liverpool.
Right. Yeah.
So, yes, we have quite an area. And I didn't even know that the town of Geddes is right, starts at Long Branch.
Okay.
Oh, no, I think
so. We cover so we have town of Geddes, a lot of those.
How many members?
We have 425 right now. And our goal is by the end of 2025, which is our 50th anniversary, our goal is to have 500.
Wow.
So you don't have to be in the greater Liverpool or Clay area.
No, actually, we have a company out of Ohio because they have a solar farm in Cortland. Mm-hmm. And we do have a furniture company that's Parlor City, which is out of Binghamton.
Okay. What's the benefit?
The benefit is, first of all, it's exposure, it's credibility. I can't tell you how many times people call me and they're looking at a business and and I go, I don't know them. I don't know where they are. Can't find them on the website. But what do you want done? So then I go, oh yeah, I got members that can do that. I can tell you what they look like.
Yeah.
I can even tell you where they've done business. And so that gives you that credibility. It's also exposure because our catalog, our directory goes out not as just a business guide, but it's also a visitor's guide. So when people are coming to the area, we make sure that they get that as their sort of relocation package.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we do a lot of that.
And you do some events too, like you do the concerts in the parks and
stuff? So starting June, Memorial Day is our first concert. But yes, we do 24 concerts in Johnson Park. It's all run by volunteers.
Mm-hmm. What happens? Explain those a little bit, because I think people might go through the village and go, hey, there's something going on there. What is it? 24 different concerts.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
So more or less every Monday, Wednesday, unless it's something different.
Where is Johnson Park? Which one?
It's right in the middle of the village, right across from the Liverpool Library.
Okay. I know exactly what it is.
So different types of bands and things too. The variety is pretty amazing.
This year, our bands are extraordinary. We've had to up our budget a bit because we were after a couple of them. We're going to end with Atlas.
How about that?
Yeah, beautiful.
And we're starting with Memorial Day. It's called Off the Ground, and they play a lot of rock and roll, and they're amazing. They're a really good band, but they're all local bands,
right?
So, and the only one we have right now is. Oh shoot! The name escaped me. She's a Nashville. I can't.
That's okay.
But she's a Nashville winner artist. Yeah, so she's going to be in the area.
Yeah, going to the concerts there. I've been to them. You sit down, you bring a chair, you put a blanket out. They sell snacks. It's just so Americana. It's just so fun.
And if you want to bring your own dinner, like sometimes people will go to the pizza place, or we have a variety of restaurants in the area.
Sure, yeah.
So you can even bring your food.
So if Tom and I go, will you bring us dinner?
I was hoping you'd bring me dinner.
Okay, all right.
You know, Steve does a little bit of an act. You know, you might want to have him over there. He juggles chainsaws.
Oh, you have to have instruments.
Oh, it has
Tom,
to be
you know, I don't know how to start a chainsaw. I couldn't do it if I wanted to.
They're electric ones.
Ours is to encourage the local artists, so they have to have an instrument.
Okay, I see.
So businesses, if they're from Liverpool or near Liverpool or around, they can connect with you 457-3895. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So 457-3895, liverpoolchamber.com, not to be confused with Liverpool, England. I don't know.
So go to the website, because if you're looking for things to do in the community,
you got
not only do we have Liverpool Chamber events on there, but we have community events, and we also from time to time we'll put on events going on in other chambers.
Excellent.
Awesome stuff.
All right, Lucretia Hudzinski, you do a wonderful job up there, you and your team. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Donna Shane's coming up next, owner of Syracuse Dog Fence, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back again right here on the Local Show with Tom and Steve. You know, both the employees of Zoey Advertising. So what do you call that?
I don't know. An ad agency?
Ad agency and all that. We make commercials. And, you know, I was talking to somebody about that, and they said, what do you do? And they were like, almost like confused. like those kinds of businesses exist? And I'm like, yeah, well, how do you think people make commercials? And
I think a lot of it, it's such a do-it-yourself world.
Yes,
now.
That's what it's become. Like, you know, if we were having this conversation 25, 30 years ago, nobody would even think about placing an ad without going through a professional.
Right. But nowadays it's,
it's always,
you know, and it's tricky, and people, they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
So they're going to run a TV ad or a commercial or a billboard or whether they're like, well, I'll call the company and they'll do it, which of course they're willing to do.
Yeah.
But you know, they'll take your money.
Yeah, people will sell you anything.
Right. But maybe not the best. Zoey, we work the process. Find out what does success look like. You know, if you spend money and it doesn't work, don't spend it. Mm-hmm. Which you don't hear from much marketing firms. You say, it didn't work, spend more.
You have to have a strategy. You can't just throw darts at the wall.
That's what people do. A lot of darts out there.
Yeah. That's great. So that's what Zoey Advertising does, folks.
Zoey, if you got a question, got a business, send me an email. Tom won't reply. So steve@zoeyadvertising.com and we'll answer your question. Or go to the website, Zoey Advertising. There's a whole lot of stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's our pleasure to bring back on the show Donna Shane. She's the owner of Syracuse Dog Fence, along with her husband Stan, who's had a birthday. Stan, he's less than 100, isn't he?
Much less.
Okay.
Thank you for having us here again.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here. Tell people exactly what your company is, the name, and what you do for pets.
Syracuse Dog Fence is a locally owned dog fence company.
Okay.
Very similar. There's a big name out there, just like there's Xerox and
Kleenex and all that. Yeah.
Invisible Fence is a brand.
Right.
Our brand is Pet Stop brand.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So Pet Stop actually was started back in the 1990s.
Okay.
By a gentleman who was with the original Invisible Fence company.
Right. And he kind of made improvements on it,
He
right?
did.
Yeah.
What he did was he took that basic model.
Yeah.
And he brought over several of the engineers with him. So they took that basic model and they expanded it. So now we have equipment that is totally recharged. The receivers that the dogs wear are totally rechargeable. We still have battery operated stuff, but we find that total rechargeable receiver is better for you and the dog.
It's cheaper in the long haul too. You're not buying batteries every
Exactly.
whatever.
You're not filling up the landfills with extra batteries. You know, you're not having to look through drawers when that collar starts flashing. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't have a battery, calling the company, and then I don't know if everybody else out there is having an issue with Postal Service, but we know the Postal Service isn't exactly at their best right now.
Yeah.
So, don't call me the day your collar starts flashing.
Sure.
Let me know, ahead of time. But that rechargeable allows you to just plop it in a little charger base. About 3 to 4 hours later, after it goes through a diagnostic feature, it lets you know that collar is working or not.
And the perimeter of your home, you can pretty much do any configuration you want, right?
Within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason. There are some limitations like
the neighbors.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it has to be a complete circuit.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah.
So you can't stop and start the wire and then have the signal working.
We did that with Zoey. Yeah, because Stan and Donna, Syracuse Dog Fence, we met a zillion years ago when we put Zoey on the fence, and we looked around, looked at the Nationals, decided to go with you guys, and they did the front yard. And they did the backyard. So it was two. So if I let her out the front, she was fine.
Right.
If I let her out the back, she was fine.
And that's the way we got to configure.
Yeah. So how's it working with your stupid bagel?
Oh, it's great. And I've told the story a couple of times, and I'm going to say it again, that, since they've been on the fence, I've forgot to put the collars on a couple of times. And even without the collars, they know where to go.
Because they're stupid.
Right.
Well, they're stupid or they're
conditioning.
Okay.
It's all part of that.
And here's the thing
process.
with that conditioning, you guys started by putting all the flags around the perimeter. So they, dot your property with the flags. And then you train them to see the flags and know where they can go. So it's awesome. I mean, it really is the best thing we ever. In fact, Kelly was remarking to me. Kelly's my wife, for those of you keeping up with things. And she had said the other day, I am so glad we have this now. And I wasn't sure it was going to work with our two dogs.
You were like, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see if it does.
Yeah, because we've been talking with you for a long time.
Yeah.
And we've been telling you, Mikey needs, you'll be, Steve's thing with us was, I hate my dog. I hate my dog because he's driving me crazy.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Before he had the fence.
Right.
And then after you put the fence in,
we bonded.
Later,
it got way better, yes.
He was like, I can't believe how much easier life is. Because I don't have to worry. I can let my dog out and know that he's going to be where I let him be.
And even with people walking their dogs all around our street, or people just taking walks without their dog,
right?
Both of our dogs are very well behaved. They'll bark and but they stay right where they're supposed to be, and then they get bored and they go back in the middle.
Exactly.
Zoey used to chase the squirrels right to the tree.
Right to the and
then the squirrel would go up the tree, and Zoey wasn't bright enough to know the squirrel went up the tree. She'd go around there. Where'd he go? Poof, he disappeared. But or rabbits even, which rabbits are her like.
Yeah, we
That's
got those
nemesis,
too.
Yeah, it's like, but she would just run up and then, nope, I'm not going that way. And it was great. And especially like in the winter, you didn't have to walk. You didn't have the chain. You didn't have the rut in the yard or the chain or any of that kind of stuff.
And the technology is really cool. You talk about those rechargeable receivers, which is wonderful. And the app that goes along with it, the companion app. So if I have to give the dog a correction because, like there might be some workers in the yard next door,
right,
and Mikey won't stop being a beagle and doing, I can just give him a little warning shot, boom, and he's done.
And a lot of times what you really have to do with the Link app is to because it gives you 3 features, is just give them the warning.
That's all.
Sound.
Just the warning sound.
Dogs learn, because of the process that we use, they learn that sound means that another correction is going to come.
Yeah.
And so they become conditioned that
just
when they
to
hear
stop.
that sound.
Yeah.
Didn't you put that collar on Nicholas?
No, I'd like to. Kelly'd like to put it on me too.
So when I looked, a long time ago, we've known each other a long time. Syracuse Dog Fence. There's a lot of folks out. SyracuseDogFence.com. Stan's direct number. So if you want to harass Stan, you can get a quote.
315-415-5555.
415 and a whole lot of fives.
Yes.
And you can get a quote and keep your dog safe and in the yard.
And you can text that number and we will get back to you either way.
Yeah, let's give that number again. It's 315-415-5555. Syracuse Dog Fence. Pet.com. I would highly recommend, if you have a pet and you want to keep it contained in a loving way, call them today. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you again for having us here.
You got it. Mike McCumbie's coming up next. He's the owner and CEO of Mad Dog Karts. We're going to find out all about his business on the local show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We are back into it and back at it. You've got The Local Show with Tom and Steve right here on 570 WSYR. Let me tell you something, Steve. In broadcasting, there's a rule where they say don't talk about the equipment because the general consumer
is that a new headset you got?
But I got this new headset. Talk about it. So
I saw, just to be clear, I saw the invoice. Yes, it showed up from B&H.
Oh my goodness!
I go, well, somebody bought a new headset. I did see that.
The company is called Rode, R-O-D-E.
Oh, like the board we have.
The board that we use, yeah. So they're leading the way in all this, podcasting and broadcast, right. And they've really come a long way. So anyway. It's the first time I've used their headphone product. And I'm amazed at how good they are. It's actually cool on my ears. It said it had a cooling foam, and I thought that was just a gimmick.
Sounds like a gimmick.
But it's like I got air conditioning going through my ears. It's great.
And you've had headsets. I mean,
for years. I mean, hundreds of years.
Right? I mean, we would spend several $100s 40 years ago on a headset.
And these weren't. These weren't that much, and I'm like, I'm pretty impressed. I got to say,
I like the way they cover. They're big. They cover some of your face.
Yes, I'd like them to cover my whole, cheeks and everything. Yeah. Hey, look, we got a new guest to the show right now. He's got the old crappy headphones on. Mike McCumbie is the owner of CEO, and he's the owner and
there you
CEO.
Go again with that old CEO thing.
I don't know. You look awfully young to be that.
You've been doing that all day.
Is this your business?
Yes. So it's actually me and my father's business.
Okay.
My father started about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was a young buck trying to learn what was going on and sitting in the garage trying to figure out what he was doing exactly.
Yeah.
But now I've taken it over. My father moved down to sunny Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah.
He's a golfer, right?
No, actually, the weird part is he's not. He hates golf.
Isn't that something?
But I play a little bit.
There's counseling for that.
Right. I'm sure.
What is Mad Dog Karts? Explain it to people so they understand.
So Mad Dog Karts is the story behind the name is we have he's got to be now 10 or 11 years old, no 12 years old I believe, bulldog.
Okay.
He is an English bulldog that for some reason my dad chose to use the name after him.
Yeah.
And they've never been the best of friends, which is the weirdest part of it.
That's interesting.
Right. So our main logo is an angry bulldog.
Right.
And it is supposed to be after Chopper is his name.
I gotcha.
So we got this name, we branded it. We did everything my dad did everything himself. Sure. Mm-hmm. And we came up and it was a kick and everybody loved it.
So but what is it? Yeah. What about these carts?
We are a custom golf cart shop. We do from the littlest, backseat headlights, simple. We work on mainly club car, easy go, Yamaha, gas and electric golf carts.
Gas and electric. Okay.
And we've built up to the most custom thing we did was I think it was a $20,000 6-passenger custom paint, airbrush, custom seats with our logo in it.
So who buys a golf cart like that?
Rodney Dangerfield.
So that was actually a guy out of I can't remember if it was in this area or a little farther out. He saw it on Facebook and saw it on our website.
Yeah.
And he loved that our logo was embroidered into the seat. That was the main thing we did.
No kidding.
And he really liked it.
Yeah.
And he just he saw this thing, immediately wanted it. It's still out there
for a golf cart, or was it like because you can use these golf carts for hunting, for everything, right?
Mainly, right. The main thing that we do is we sell golf carts to people in campgrounds, people at the racetrack.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
And we do not everybody, but some people do buy these carts for golfing.
But it's at the country club. Can I bring my own golf cart? That seems a little redneck.
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can pull and be like, here, I've got my cart, and it's
so surprisingly, some you can.
Okay.
Country clubs, bigger golf courses, you can't. Mm-hmm. There is one out in like the Mexico area. Mm-hmm. It's a campground that has a golf course, 9 holes. It's a small course. But we actually have a customer that has our cart, and he uses it for the course.
Interesting. But you do a lot for people like, if you're a race car driver or something like that, and you got to go around the grounds, right? And try and traverse it.
So we've done a couple things more than a couple things for the guys at like Brewerton Speedway.
We've had them on the show.
Have you?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's
Cody?
I don't know. So I don't know anybody personally from the Speedway, but I know a lot of the racers. I have a really good buddy who drives a dirt car, which he's actually building something with us right now, which is cool.
You can give props to him. Go ahead. What's his name?
So Joe Tricklo, number 32.
Joe Tricklo?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
No. He's a card.
But guys that want to go around, they want to move around the track.
Yeah.
But mainly it's campgrounds.
Okay.
We've got a lot of the bigger campgrounds, either here, Pulaski, up north, the Alexandria Bay area.
Yeah. Do you market out of state as well?
We have done some stuff out of state. We've got carts in Florida, South Carolina.
Very good.
Maybe I believe Texas, southern states.
Yeah.
But mainly up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining because I think of a golf cart as a standard golf cart.
Yes.
With the little plexi that falls in front and the bag. So these are nothing like that.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Again, we sell everything.
Right.
Some carts we have, they're like that. The old style.
Okay.
Most people are calling. They want more. Mm-hmm. They want the back seat, the custom seats, the custom paint.
Do they want to make it like they're a Yankee fan? It's a Yankee cart, or they're an SU fan. They want it orange.
Do you need special licensing for that? Do you have to get the license?
So we have done. Yes, in certain cases you do. We've asked permission. We did an SU cart one time for a customer that was a big SU fan.
Sure.
And you've got to get that trademarking licensing thing.
Yeah, they have rules.
The images.
Sure.
We've also we did a cart for Make-A-Wish.
Very nice.
Fortnite, the video game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was wrapped in Fortnite. That was pretty cool. We've actually done Yankees carts. We did a Yankees cart. That was just a simple design. You stick around the cart.
Can you put a golf cart, like if you're in Tom's neighborhood, Tom lives in the pastures up in Cicero.
That's right.
It's a gated community.
Area.
So can you drive a golf cart down there and not get arrested by the one Cicero cop?
Well, I don't know. Again, once it's dropped off and the customer has,
it's not your problem.
They can do what they please with it.
But they're not over the road vehicles. You can't take a golf cart and license it. Or can you?
When we were in Florida, Tom, they used a golf cart to take us down the road to the beach and stuff, and they did it.
Yes.
I think there might be some permitting or insurance or things, but they are capable of doing that.
We and like in Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina, you can under 35 miles an hour, street legal. Yeah, that actually is a thing. It's pretty cool.
So how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah.
So we do have a website. It's Mad Dog Karts, karts.com. And our phone number is 315-345-0326.
345 in the big area code, Tom.
Yes, 315.
345-0326. Mad Dog Karts with a K.
Yes, sir.
.com. Well, thank you so much, Mike, and you have a great rest of the day. Thanks for joining us.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Dave Schneckenberger is coming up next. President of Thompson & Johnson Equipment. We'll learn his whole story coming up next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
All right, we're back again. Thank you for joining us on The Local Show. It's Tom and Steve from Zoey Advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios. Now, they're sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts, and you can also see us on YouTube. So if you'd like to see what the guests look like.
And your new headset.
And the new headset that I have, yes. It's all.
It does sound that much better, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you won't hear a difference. Well,
but that's what I'm saying. You can really sense a difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a wonderful piece of gear.
Just a point here. So I noticed you bought them. I noticed I paid for them, but I also noticed you didn't buy me a set.
No, not at all. Well, yours weren't broken. Mine were literally, the cord was cutting in and out. Oh, I didn't get these out of vanity. No.
Okay.
I put up with them for like a month, and I'm like, geez, I can't hear out of the left side.
I was on vacation, and I just saw the statement on the B&H bill. I go, somebody bought a headset.
Yeah, I was complaining about it a little bit, and then Brad, our video and photography guy, he said, I can order those for you. And I'm like, yeah, please.
Oh, yeah. He's never slow to spend money. You heard that right?
That's wonderful. Hey, it's good to have Dave Schneckenberger back here, president of Thompson & Johnson Equipment. How are you, Dave?
Doing great. Thanks for having me here again.
Well, thank you.
Always enjoy it.
He's a golfer, Tom.
Is he a golfer? Oh, very good. Did you go away for golf, or was it around here?
I had some travels and got some good rounds of golf in, so it's been a lot of fun so far.
Good rounds, meaning you played good courses, or you just smoked on the course?
Meaning I played really good courses, and I played my normal game.
Okay.
Which is not smoking the course.
Yes, but you're going to have fun playing your normal game. You're not one of those guys that, like, if they don't, or they're not 3 under, they're always mad.
No, it's fun.
Those people are annoying to me.
It's got to be relaxing. It'll be fun.
Right.
Good.
So you went away. Do you have to? And I'm not a golfer, and I'm not a flyer really. I've been on
not much of anything.
Yeah, I'm a homebody. When you go on a plane, do you have to take your clubs? You have to pack them, and
I rent.
Oh, so you rent them? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
For my game, rentals are as good as my club, so it's fine.
Okay.
When you're a normal person, you can do that.
Yeah. It's got to be expensive. You got to check them in.
At your height, no, not going to happen.
It's a problem.
You'll be bending over like.
But the good courses, the rental clubs, are good clubs.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah, they're not cheesy. And probably some of the places you go are pretty nice. Yeah.
I've been lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Very good. And how long were you gone for? Out of town?
3-day trip. 3-day trip here, 6-day trip there.
Yeah.
Just, short.
Yeah. A lot of work to do. So what's cooking and new and exciting at Thompson & Johnson?
We're busy. The business is going really well. We had a record year last year, which was great.
Congratulations.
You should probably tell people what you do.
What we do.
It's awfully assumptive.
Good point. Thompson & Johnson. Thompson & Johnson Equipment Company. We are a material handling equipment dealer, primarily selling Toyota Crown Clark forklift trucks, which in our world, that's the supply chain. Without forklift trucks, the supply chain does not work.
Right.
And our customers range from guys at the regional market to a United Auto to a Raymore and Flanagan to a Tessie Plastics.
Wow.
So broad range, Byrne Dairy, broad range of customers from small to large, to national accounts that include Walmart, Amazon, Family Dollar, what have you.
Good guy.
So it's a fun business. The business is transitioning. We are getting more into automation now. So we have that opportunity through a couple of our suppliers to provide automatic guided vehicles.
Really? Autonomous forklifts?
Autonomous forklift trucks, automatic storage systems.
Good golly.
No, it's really cool. It's the next wave for our industry, and it's going to be great. So
that sounds terrifying.
Well, yeah. I mean, you better get out of the way.
No, they're safe. The redundancy is amazing.
Yeah.
Would you get an airplane without a pilot today?
Would I get an airplane without a pilot?
Yeah, flying the thing. Hey, we've just got some guy in the ground playing a video game, flying.
Because on an automatic guided vehicle, if something goes wrong, it just stops.
Yeah, right.
Well, same thing happens to an airplane.
So it falls out the air.
Yeah, right.
And that sudden stop when you hit the ground is painful.
Let's put it this way. I understand what Dave's saying, and that is really cool technology. I'd rather have an autonomous forklift than you driving one. So
that probably is true too.
So imagine for a second, Tom gets in a plane, which terrifies him, and he's flying, and he doesn't realize there's no pilot. Then I go on the air and I say, "Hi, this is Steve. I'm flying your aircraft from the ground. So please enjoy your flight," and watch Tom have a meltdown.
So you carry all the top brands. It sounds like you
We do. We're blessed to have the top brands in the industry.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse. They both are very demanding, so we have to work very hard to take care of both of them. But we're successful doing that, and it's great partnerships.
That's excellent. Do you get pretty big company, right? How many employees?
We have 180 employees. We have 90 mechanics.
Wow.
So it's a big service organization. So we really are a service organization that sells the top lines in our industry.
Yeah, and you're kind of woven into the fabric of the community. What else do you do community oriented?
Personally, I believe in giving back to our community is important for both individuals and for corporations. So we support, Boy Scouts and the Most, and we do a lot with the Food Bank Center of New York.
We've had all these people on the show you're mentioning.
Yeah, so no, it's great. We do a casual Friday where you can wear jeans to work if you don't wear a uniform, and if you want, you can put $5 in the pot. We draw a name every quarter, and if your name's drawn, you get an extra vacation day.
Nice.
But that money, T&J then matches that total from the employees, and in all of our branches we have not-for-profits that we pick, and then that's who we support each month. So
I think that's terrific.
Basis.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So locally, it's SPCA, it's In My Father's Kitchen.
Yeah, they've been on the show, and they've been on the show. You've mentioned no one that hasn't been on the show.
Well, you guys have great taste, so there you go.
That's great.
Yeah, no, it's fun. So are you hiring?
We are hiring. We are hiring. We've added a few admin people this year, and we are always looking for more mechanics or technicians. As we all know, kids aren't going into trades as much, although I've read recently that Gen Zs are going to turn that around. They're going more to trade schools, which is excellent. So no, we're always hiring techs. We will bring in a top-level tech and put them right to work, or we'll bring in a newbie, and we've got a 4,000 square foot training facility between classroom and lab that
I've been in it. It's absolutely beautiful.
We'll bring people along. So, we're invested.
So how do you train people? So what do they have to have as a baseline? So take someone like Tom that can't do math in his head. Do you want Tom?
Maybe. So basically, we hire for attitude and aptitude and culture fit. So if you got the right attitude, you have an aptitude for it. It's kind of like if you're
Tom has that, unfortunately. It's true.
If you're crimping a wire, there's a certain feel to crimping a wire or tightening a nut on a bolt, right? There's a feel. If you have that aptitude, we'll bring you along.
Right.
Okay. And then certainly culture fit's important, that the person fits into who we are, and to us, we're a family business, and we have our personal families, we have our business family, but it's all about.
So if someone knows friends or kids or grandkids or is looking for something in that, ThompsonandJohnson.com. They can connect with you on that website.
Careers link on the website, and yes, absolutely.
And have a conversation. Maybe it's a fit, maybe it's not, but you'll help navigate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Dave Schneckenberger right there, president of Thompson & Johnson Equipment. Thank you for coming, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Excellent. Steve, that's going to wrap things up. It was awesome having you back. You go off and do what you do on the weekends, okay?
I'll do that.
All right. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Make some time to relax and exercise today and every day. Do it with a friend or family member because it keeps the mind and body healthy. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1 and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising.